Guys, it's Manager Kylie, and in today's video I'm going to go through how to fill out a baseball or softball scorebook. So today I'm going to go through some of the basics and some of the details on what you need to know to be able to fill out a softball or baseball scorebook. The way the scorebook is filled out is exactly the same for both sports, so you can use the same book for either sport. And I'm going to go through the basics you need to know and some of the details if you want to add more information to your scorebook. But if you guys are interested in learning more sports administration, definitely hit that subscribe button, turn the bell so you get notified every time I upload. I post a new video every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And now let's dive in and fill out our scorebook.
Okay, so this is what the scorebook looks like. There's some variations to it. Some are horizontal, some are vertical. This just happens to be the one I have. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to fill out at the top who is playing the game. So we're going to put the home team, which we're just going to call the red team. We're going to put the visitors, who are going to be the blue team. The date, we're just going to put May 1st. For the place, we're just going to put park. And for the game time, we're going to put 3 p.m. And if you're playing like a double header or something, or in a tournament, you could put like the game number and just circle it as 1. The next thing you're going to do is fill out the team's roster. This is the same list that goes to the umpire, so you're going to do the lineup. I also like to put the players that are substitutions on the bottom of my scorebook, just so I know and I have them if they are to sub in. So the first thing you're going to do is take their number, and on this first line, you want to keep it to the first line so that if they sub at all, you can put in the other person. I'm just going to put, say, number 2. I'm going to put that his name is Joe. And then I'm going to wait and fill out the positions in a little bit, but I'm going to put all the names and all their numbers in. So we're going to put number 4. And we're going to say it's Mark. We're going to put number 17. And I'm just going to fill in all of the different players. You're going to have your 9 different players that are hitting. So I'm going to have number 18. We're going to have number 10. And if you ever have like 2 people that are named the same thing, just put like their first initial, so that you know you can separate them. So once you have all of the roster in, you can put substitutions. I usually just like to mark them in this bottom because you're not batting 17 players. Sometimes I'll put down here that they have some other substitutions, so we can say that they have number 1 as a substitution, number 5, and you can put their names as Dale and as Manny. And then this is a key thing you want to look at, is this is your position chart. So playing 9 on the field, you have your pitcher is 1, your catcher is 2, your first baseman is 3, your second baseman is 4, your third baseman is 5, your shortstop is 6, and then going through your outfield, you have your left field as 7, your center field as 8, and your right field as 9. We are now going to put those positions in this column in their numerical numbers. You're going to add those positions in where everybody is playing. So I'm just going to go through and add in where everybody's playing. So I'm going to say 2. I usually like to put them down in order of where they're playing. So you'd have the positions in front of you and a roster in front of you. And you just go through and add in everybody's positions. And there you go. You have your whole lineup with everybody that is hitting and where they play. And now it is time to score the game. Now, in each play in baseball or softball, there's multiple different things that the person can do at the plate. So the first thing that's going to happen is pitches are going to be thrown. So when pitches are thrown, you're going to focus on these little squares. So for this, you are just going to mark off if it is a ball. So you say this person has 2 balls and 1 strike. You just mark them off like that. And then let's say they got a hit, but we're out. So for this one, we're going to say they got a hit to the shortstop. So you would mark a 6, and that ball was then thrown to the first baseman to get them out, 6-3. And you would put that this is the first out. Not all books have this little circle. If they don't have the circle, you just put a 1 and you circle it. The next person we're going to say gets a single. So there's first some pitches thrown. Let's say there's 1 ball and then they decide to swing on the next one and they get a single. So for that, you draw that they went to first base and you circle the 1B because they got a single. The other thing you can mark is where the single went to, so you can say that it went to right here in left field. So you can just put a little dot to show where the ball was hit to. The next thing we're going to have is we're going to have the batter get up, and we're going to say there's 2 balls and that they actually strike out. So you fill in all your pitch counts, and then they're going to have strike out swinging. So you're just going to put a K, and then you are going to put a 2 in this box. Somebody then gets up and on the first pitch hits a double. So you can just go like this. You go 2 bases like that, and you circle the 2. Because they hit a double, you also need to advance any other runners that are on. So this person was still on first, so they advance 2 bases. And you can even mark that double that they advanced it on the 2 bases. So you just put a 2B so that you know that that's when the person hit the double is when they advanced. And then number 4 is going to get up. And we are going to say that they had a pitch count with 3 balls, and one of those balls was actually a pass ball, which caused number 3 to score. So we're going to put in that they got all the way home, and then we're going to put in SB so that you know it's a stolen base. And these are some extras. You don't have to mark that it was a stolen base, but that way you know. We're going to say that this person also advanced to third on that stolen base, and because this person scored, you are just going to fill in the entire infield so that you know that they scored. Now this person continues their at bat and gets a single, so we're just going to circle the single and move that forward. And this person didn't score on that single because of it being hit to third. They were just outrunning it and were able, because they had to look back at that other player, that they ended up being able to outrun the ball. So this person's now up to bat. They got 2 counts. They're gonna strike out looking. So what that is you actually draw a backwards K to show that they struck out looking, and then that is your 3rd out. So when the inning is over, you want to make sure that in the 2nd inning you use the next column. So the way you do that is you draw a nice solid line at the bottom of that. You can even draw a line down this side if you want, to make sure that you know that you're not using this box. If you want to totally cross it off, you can. Just so you know that this box isn't being used, you're going over to that next spot. So now we're going to move down, and we have number 13 is up in the 7th batter. The other team is now already hit. You would just repeat this on the other side of the scorebook for the other team. And for this, we're going to say they got up, and they got a single, but it was an error. So we put in that they hit the ball and got to first base. However, because the hit was to here, you're just going to put that there was an E, and then the hit was to right here at shortstop, so you're just going to put E6, and that's what caused them to get on base. We're going to then have the next person get up. There's some pitches thrown, and they actually are walked. So then you just circle base on balls, and you draw the lines to fill in that they advanced, and so did the previous player. And now the 9th batter gets up, and they are going to hit the ball and actually cause a double play. So they are going to, there's their pitch count, they hit the ball into play, and they get the person that is running to third and themselves out. So that we can say that the ball went from 5 to 3, and you can say that here that there was a double play. So what we know on that is this person did advance to second. This was your first, one of your outs is right here. You can say that they only advanced part of the way and they stopped there. You can see that they only stopped midway because they were out. They didn't make it all the way to third. And then you have your 2nd out right there. And now we move back up to the first player. We're still in this inning, and there is just plays that happen. You can get different points. Okay, they go through, and then you're able to say, okay, they actually struck out swinging, and that's your 3 outs for the inning. Now, one thing I do want to note is from that first inning, we did have somebody score. So down here on the bottom of that first inning, you do just want to put a 1 to show that 1 run has scored. And one final note, if you were to, in an inning, have more than 9 players bat, so if this inning was to continue and these people were to all bat, you would then just continue on in this next column and continue it here. And all you would do is just at the top, you would cross off the 3 and change it to the 2 if you had the ability to bat more than 9 in the inning. And then finally, one last note, if there is a substitution, all you do is you can go in and say, okay, we know that number 1 is subbing in up here. You just put number 1, you put their name. They're probably going to end up playing the same position generally. And you can just say, you can either mark that they subbed in if you want to put like a little note on when they subbed in. That's up to you. You could just put it in the parentheses either over here that you can put in that they went in the 5th inning. Something like that so that you know when this batting switched from Joe to Dale if you were keeping track of their different stats. You're also able to keep track of pitch counts in a book like this. And you can mark all their stats in this far column. You can put what they did while at bat. Another thing you can do is in this bottom corner, you can put the final score. So some people like to put it in this bottom corner. Some people just write it along the center of the book. You can do it however you want. Some people also will, instead of putting this all the way down here, will just put a 1 in the middle. But you just put the final score down here. You can say that the final score was 5-4, that they had 6 hits, they had 3 hits, but they had 4 errors and they had 2 errors, something like that. And you can also just put your name down on the bottom and fill that all in. And if you have any questions for this scorebook, definitely let me know. I'd be happy to answer anything you have. This is just some of the basics, but you can also put as much detail, like this one right here, you can put as much detail as you want, or you can just show that they got on base and made it all around the bases. You don't have to put all the pitch counts if you don't want to know the pitch counts. It's totally up to you on how much detail you or your coaches want, but it's definitely a helpful skill for anybody on a bench to know how to do so that they can fill in and do the scorebook. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Again, if you have any questions on the scorebook, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And if there's any videos like this you want to see for some other sport, definitely let me know that as well. And if you're interested in learning what position you are in softball or baseball, definitely check out that video linked at the end, or check out the playlist on how to do scoring for other sports. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys next Wednesday.